Welcome to humanitywins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, welcome to this new episode of humanitywins.net, and we have again my very good friend Tony from London. And this is coming out again on Friday, so it has become a costume here on Humanity Wins to have Tony on Fridays with Tony, and it's a pleasure, mate, an honor. I'm very fortunate to have you every week. Sometimes I will pay the invoices, so you stop coming. I'm joking. We have an internal joke here. I want to clarify for people are not going to get it, Tony. That I reached out to someone last year, quite well-known name, to have an interview, and the secretary or something came back with an email saying, sure, the person will do a 30-minute chat with you for $995. So then, joking with Tony, he said, okay, I'm going to charge you £1,495 per show. So I'm still outstanding with that, and the debt is growing. Okay, so Tony, today's show, Tony, I wanted to do something kind of funny way or respectful on this idea that we sometimes make in our minds. I don't think there's another place. We make kind of conspiracy theories or imaginary stories, I want to say, of other people, whatever. It could be someone you know, a co-worker, family member even. It certainly could be a public figure or something like that, you know, has no basis in reality. And it's just because you add up a few things you see with your eyes, with your mind, and your mind has already made this concoction of a story. So I want to share what I'm trying to say, okay? I shared many times that here in Mexico a few years ago, around 2008, the situation suddenly from being, I mean, you could go out at night, you could go to an ATM, you could go to a convenience store, whatever. It was a very safe country and city. In 2008, it went all over the world with this fight against crime that, to make a story short, in months, things got rough very quickly. So what happened is, if you had a nice car, and I'm talking what is referenced as a premium car, I'm talking the brands BMW, Volvo, Mercedes, Audi, I don't know, Saab at that time. Saab, there's no longer Saab. Those 5, 6, of course, Ferrari, and of course, Cadillac, of course, those ones, okay? But if you had a car of that brand, it doesn't matter. Some people had a 7-year-old BMW. It was worth less than a regular car, okay? But it didn't matter. Apparently, the criminals shifted from doing their drug business, and because the government was attacking them, they said, all right. And in concoction with another party, it's very sad, really in agreement with another party that wanted to come back to power, they targeted civilians, okay? Something that had never happened in Mexico. So what happened is, you had a nice car, you would stop at the supermarket or something, and a lot of people were getting kidnapped in their cars, and ransom asked for them. So to make the story short, because I'm just preparing what I want to say. At that time, we were renting, and we were we moved from an open place because of the security situation to a gated community. A gated community is basically something that has a wall or something that has one entrance, one exit. There are some security guards there. They are not armed or anything. It's not the point, but it has a control entrance, okay? So it's more difficult. You are subject to something there. Certainly robberies, no robberies. But sometimes, if they wanted to get you from your house, they will throw down the gate, and they didn't care, okay? Because it was a very difficult moment, okay? So in this gated community, suddenly a new neighbor comes, and he starts having, it was 2-car driveways or garages, but for everyone to see. And he started having a Volvo and a Mercedes and a BMW. And so people started, the neighbors, we started saying, who is this guy? I mean, is he a criminal maybe? Is he laundering money? And then the story started, and this is the point of the show. We didn't know, okay? We didn't know what was going on, but someone started, no, I'm pretty sure he kidnaps people, and the cars are the payment for the ransoms. And they say, no, and you know what? He looks very similar to a leader of criminals or narcos or something that I saw in the newspaper. I think it's him, and someone even called the police on him. But because the police at that time was concocted with the criminals, they went there and they knew he wasn't. so then they checked out the cars and the paperwork, and everything was fine. And the policeman came, hey, he's a regular guy, okay? You think what you think. And someone called the army on him. It was a different thing back then. The army was in the streets, and there were phone numbers for the army, and you could they wanted you to tell if you saw something like a safety house is called when they keep there was a lot of kidnapping going on. It's very unfortunate. So they wanted you to give out this information. So someone called the army. I remember one time come from the office and the army was at the entry of the gated community saying, you cannot, I mean, I'm a neighbor. No, wait, we're checking out the house. And he was this guy. So eventually, after a few months, he kept having the different cars. He will change them every month. So someone says, you know what? I see him in the mornings. He walks. We have a little park. So he walks there and I go with the bike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to befriend him and, because the family was like not friending with anyone. Okay.
Right.
So he eventually befriends him. And the story is so funny that he had a car lot. Okay. But the premium cars, which by the way, you were selling at half the price at most. I mean, there was no market. Okay. So he was taking them very cheap. And he was, for example, doing something like this. You will give him a 2-year BMW, and he will give you a 4-year Ford, and that's it. And if you want, and people will say, yeah, whatever. At least I'm not afraid on that Ford. Okay, I'm look like a regular person. Okay, because the understanding for the criminal was if you have a BMW, I don't care how old, you have to pay. You have something to pay for a ransom. Okay, so we have So some people will put them in garages somewhere and kept them for a couple of years there, losing value because they didn't want to use them. Okay? It was amazing. So this guy will take the risk. He will take your car, but he didn't want the car on the lot. It attracted too much attention, so he took it home to the gated community. That's why the change. Right. That's why the change in the Mercedes, and because they were basically impossible to sell back to someone. No one was taking them. He sold them to a different part in the country, which was not as rough, which was the South. So he had someone that took the risk to drive the car to Mexico City, which is in central Mexico, to Acapulco, to different places, and he will make nice money, okay, in the whole operation. Yeah. Because they were very good cars. I mean, beautiful. I mean, they were not old at all. They were, 1 year old, 2 year old, but everyone that bought the car before the insecurity was dumping them. It was a crazy market. Yeah. You could get a BMW for the price of a 3-4 year old Ford, but no one was buying because who would want that? Because you were unable to use it in that city.
Yeah, they attract the wrong attention.
Yes. So we all make these concoctions. He was a money launderer. He was a criminal. He dismembered people. He kidnapped. He said, and he was just a guy that saw an opportunity to merchandise these cars that no one was taking. But he was also afraid. So he says, that's why I take them home. If I leave them at the lot, I'm attracting, so he just had the regular cars in the lot. And whenever someone came with a BMW, he says, okay, but we'll do the operation at my house. And the car wouldn't move until it's sold to somewhere else in Mexico for a profit. Okay. And he was doing a nice profit because he was getting them so cheap. Okay. Yeah. That's the story, Tony. So that for me is an example when we start doing these concoctions in our mind, that X, Y, Z person is like that, is something, I don't want to say is whatever, okay? If anything, maybe at the beginning of the channel, and maybe in interviews with Captain Joel and that, I may have said, I need to go back, that Alex Jones is a shield, Alex Jones is a whatever. But we could agree that lately, I always say, I don't know. Because honestly, I don't know. So he appears to be something, but is he really something? I don't know. And for me, for someone to assure of someone else, just because what you see, in this case, the cars, and yes, it was quite telling, but there was a story behind it. Okay? Yeah. And sometimes you see someone that, maybe shouldn't have that amount of money. He's not a criminal because you, in your mind, make up a story. I think we go back to visual evidence. We go back to what our eyes and brain tells us. And especially with the senses, eye, hearing, seeing, and the brain, those three, they start making up stories. And I think it's, for example, how the flat earth came to be. And some say it's a CIA operation, or what they call it, that, trying to tell us the truth. Yes, but it's also someone that through their eyes, ears, and brain only said, I see these videos, I see these photographs, the earth is flat. And by the way, I just saw a video like a month ago of someone that publicly wanted to prove that the earth is flat, and suddenly the experiment didn't work and proved that the earth is round.
Round.
He said, "Oh, oops, we have to redo it. The conditions are not there." Not meaning
Oh, right.
because he did some calculations live or something like that of light and that, and there was some movement. I don't care either way. I don't wanna. This is not a flatter video, okay? I don't care either way. I'm not concerned at all about that. I'm just saying the ones that assure, like a viewer that contacted me a year ago saying, "I don't know anything. I don't know we exist. If this is a simulation, but what I know is the Earth is flat." Right there.
Yeah.
If you can assure something, watch out. And honestly, if it's something negative, I will say to you, if you have something negative to say about someone, better don't say it to me. That's the first. But if you are gonna say something negative about someone, and we're talking about someone, a private citizen, like me calling out a channel, a specific person, be sure you're right, okay? Be sure you're right, and it's not a concoction in your head. And I'm sorry for the long introduction, Tony, but I send it back to you.
That's cool. Yeah, no, it's very important that you know people get their facts right, straight. But it's like there's a Chinese whispers, they call it, which is a thing where you say something to one person and it goes through a chain of people, and by the time it's reached, say, the fifth person, it's a totally different message. And people do that all on their own. Some people do that all on their own in their heads. Like they had conversations with themselves, like Chinese whispers, but there's only, it's voices in their head. So they'll say to themselves, yeah, look, that guy's got a lot of money. And then another voice comes in, yeah, I bet he's a drug dealer. And then the other voice comes in and says, do you think so? Yeah, look at his rings, look at his jewelry. And they're having a conversation with no one but their self, or their mind. It's not their self, it's their mind. And they come up with a conclusion built on thin air. No proof, zero proof. And there's a thing in, I saw a barrister on a protest march last year in London. And he was chatting with a guy who interviewed him. And he said, ABCD. What we do in law, when we get a case, we process evidence. We use ABCD, which is accept nothing, believe no one, check everything, and then D was like come to your own conclusions. But it was the D, like dismiss everything but your own conclusion. And it's simple. If you haven't got the facts, don't talk on it. Basic common sense. But yeah, I think that's what I believe. We should check our facts, mate, and get the facts like you say. But I don't know what you think of that.
Well, no, we of course totally agree, and it might seem like we're doing an echo chamber here. No, Tony and I are totally organic, and we don't agree on everything. But I totally agree on this one. And I'll just put, if you're talking about a public figure, that comes with the territory, okay? But if you're talking about someone privately, that person has family, friends, that whatever first of all, you're wasting your time. It just doesn't compute with me that I will invest, Tony, half an hour of my life to do a call out on another channel or another person. I mean, that person could be engaged in satanism, and that's on him or her, okay? That's not on me. I'm not anyone, Tony. I'm no one, sorry. I'm no one to be out there, policing the universe. Imagine just what burden you're putting in yourself, because I don't see the earth anymore. I see the universe. I think of this, that if I'm going to be upset about that, I'm going to be upset something happening in other dimensions and that. So for me, just thinking that that's something that is my responsibility or something like that, I'm sorry, it's not. Okay.
Yeah, no.
And if I don't have something nice to say about someone, I keep my mouth shut, I think.
Yeah.
I remember at that time, I engaged in that conversation, say, it's something we need to check out, because it was a small gated community, so we did have a criminal in there. He was probably checking us out, okay? Doesn't matter the cars, it matters how long you live, for example, for a vacation. All of those things tell a little bit about your situation. For example, the hours, and I have special hours because I have my own business, so sometimes I was there every day for lunch. So that's still telling. This guy's not an employee, probably has his own business. They could follow me down. So it was important. But the concoctions we made in our minds were amazing. And I did participate in that. I accepted, and I laughed when I said, oh my God, this is not what we're thinking. Okay. So again, is Alex Jones a shield? Is whoever channel a Jew, whatever, is he trying to dismiss others? Is he trying to blackmail others? And I say that
Yeah.
because my channel is controversial, okay? I started, and the first week I got an email saying, I'm fucking gonna kill you or something like that if you keep going.
Okay.
I think it was a very, very funny, because on the first episodes, I talk about you, episode 1, episode 2, them, I talk about the self-empowerment. I do dwell into religions a little bit. So it was probably
Yeah.
someone religious saying, hey, you are touching fibers that I don't like, so stop, okay?
Yeah.
So then I received a few very, very nasty spawn of Satan, and you're gonna go to hell, and Jesus Christ is gonna make sure you burn in hell. How does that compare for
Yeah.
the story of Jesus Christ, even in Christianity? Okay?
Yeah.
Used to be around criminals and prostitutes, and the message is we're all
Yeah.
deserving, okay? How is he gonna be concerned about this idiot in the internet that has a small channel, a minuscule channel, that to make sure he burns in hell? I mean, so
Yes,
that's
that
the
was
example of
me.
the concoctions. But sometimes these concoctions are more, for example, in that case, going back to the little story, we were very upset with the criminals. We were we were very upset. So you probably saw the videos or pictures, and they're totally real, that they will hang them from the bridges.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Seen them.
No, that was real. I saw it a couple of times, and it was pretty gruesome, okay?
Yeah.
But people were so upset because who were we bothering as civilians, as citizens? No one.
Yeah.
We were just people supporting the families, going to work and that. And they came to poke us. They came to mess with us, okay?
Yeah.
So I have a different idea. That was years ago. I have a different idea now, that, send them your love and, wish for the best. And of course, the same things we did was don't go out at night, don't show any money, don't talk publicly about your business. You will hear people in Starbucks line. You've probably seen the Starbucks lines, right? Where it gets busy, 8, 10, 9 people making line to pay and then get their cup of coffee or something. And people in Starbucks line saying, you know what? I just sold the piece of land I was telling you about, and they pay me this and that and that. You're in a Starbucks line, okay?
Yeah.
So the one behind you could be, and then they just follow you. They take your license plate. They have the license plate database, and a lot of cases were kidnappings through that information. You spoke too much. You ran off your mouth.
Yeah.
And they knew you just sold a piece of land. You have some immediate money. So yes, give it back to us. I'm sorry I laughed, but very unfortunate, But it was, be smart. Don't say anything. I remember taxi drivers were also known to share information. So for example, I never took a taxi to my house in that era. I will be left at the gate. Thank you, here's fine. No, I'll take you to, no, thank you, here's fine. I don't want you to see my house. And on the way, they will be asking, oh, so you work for a company? No, I'm unemployed, or whatever. Oh, are you a doctor maybe? Very obvious stuff. They were fishing, yes. And of course, if you were not aware, that's what I say with protecting yourself. Okay, there's something going on at night in your city. Well, don't go out at night. Don't say I'm allowed to go out at night, so I'm going to expose myself, and it's not right. Be practical, okay? We live in an imperfect world. It shouldn't. I agree with you. It shouldn't be like that. Just be practical, okay? So I think most of or not going on the offense, but sometimes the best way is defense. Is being smart with you, being cautious. And sending all these dark beings or light, because if you in a dark room, if you turn a match or whatever, strike a match, the room will illuminate a little bit. And I feel like that if we all send our light to this dark world, which is still dark, it's gonna change soon. It's gonna change. It's gonna change. I totally believe that. But I'm sorry, I deviated from the subject. So let's go back. Yes, this is about. I mean, you're an expert in psychology and that, and maybe I want to pick your brain on what do you think goes on this creation of ideas of others, okay? That 99% of the time they're baseless, okay? You're really making an image. And you know what I also noticed? It's usually with someone we don't like. Okay, someone has done something to you, or you think someone has done something to you.
You think something.
You think someone has done, then you start making, this person is like that. And you start microanalyzing. And of course, I can say my wife when she's upset sometimes. If you want to start microanalyzing anyone, we are all in trouble. Because,
Oh,
you
yes.
did this, you did that, and you did. Yes, of course. If I do the same with you, I'm gonna give you 10 things you have done wrong today.
Yeah.
We make mistakes every day.
Blame tennis.
Yes, I mean sometimes when we have arguments, usually 100% of times about money, usually about we didn't, for example, invest. Yes, because we were building a house. Okay, so it's ping pong. Okay, it's like there's a reason for it. Okay, so but I say if you wanna look at your life or my life or anyone's life, I'm sure you can pick 20 things you have done wrong. Okay, and if you don't want to look at the good ones, you're not gonna look at the good ones. So I do think there's a psychological effect on it. And maybe I want to send it back to you with this one. That is not, we make an image of a person and then for some reason we start attacking this person just because we don't like them anymore. And usually it's a former friend or former acquaintance or something like that.
Yes. I think sometimes if you have a person who's maybe oversensitive to criticism or their ego is a bit more developed than it should be, that tends to make, I'm not an expert philosopher either or psychologist, I'm just an ordinary, I might know a little bit about it.
You are. Come on.
No, just average.
Well, philosopher, expert philosopher.
Amateur philosopher.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the ego itself is mental, it's in the head, it's an artificial construct that is adopted from the system because it's, I need to learn a language, I need to get by in this system. Okay, I'll learn a language. I need to know how to drive, I'll get a driving license. I need to know how to use a credit card. So you need stuff to function in this world. And it becomes like a cupboard. You put stuff in there and you refer back to it. But not everything you learn is good for you. So we become overprotective or very defensive about what we accumulate and our life, physical, materialist objects and the people in our life. We become very possessive and protective, but to the extent where we attack others. Not just, this is my stuff and my people, but you okay, you stay over there, we'll get on fine. Some go in this next step, and they go over to the other side and look for threats that are not there. They look for possible susceptibilities or vulnerabilities in their own defences and it's like the film Forbidden Planet. There's a film, an old sci-fi film from the 50s or 60s, Forbidden Planet. The professor on another planet is fighting this monster outside the compound he lives in. And Leslie Nielsen turns up in a spaceship. But basically, cut a long story short, he's fighting his own ego. If you ever see the film Forbidden Planet, this monster outside is burning through 6 foot thick steel with heat, and it gets almost through. And it's an analogy of the guy's ego. The more you try to protect yourself against the world, the more you're going to attract attacks from the world. But I think Forbidden Planet is a film to watch. And yeah, the more you look at and see danger, the more fearful you become, and the more you will look out for more danger. And you end up in a state of mind where everyone's a threat, everyone's an enemy. You can't relax. So I think that's what it is. Your mind gets you into a state of fear, and it's a vicious circle. So you can't relax. And I think you've got to undo all the programming, the baggage, get rid of it, and stop believing the news and stop believing the newspapers that are telling you these people carry knives or these people carry guns or these are thieves. It's all bullshit. It's all about keeping us fearful and divided. And put down the paper and the news, TV, cinema for a month. See how better you feel. You know, this is to anyone out there like that. Just see how you feel after not digesting and consuming negativity. It will make the world a difference. And I wish all these people well, because it's like a lunatic asylum up there, and I've got out of there. I've freed myself. I'm not consuming it all. But yeah, that's what I see, mate. That's how I see it. Yeah.
All right. First of all, I haven't seen the movie, and you have spiked my interest, so I'm going to look for it. Sounds interesting. That, if I understand you correctly, was not really happening. It was his ego feeding a monster that was maybe not there or something like that, right? Something like that.
It was there.
It was there.
It was manifesting. It was manifesting by his fear.
Okay.
The more he feared it, the bigger and stronger the monster was outside.
Okay, and that makes sense. That's how demons work in a way. I mean, I don't have a problem dwelling on demonic possession, and I've said many times, I think we are in a demonic possession. Okay, sounds
It was
strange.
ego.
Yes, in this case of the movie, yes, but
Sure.
that's also how demons work. Okay, you give them all the power. Okay, you take the power away, and they become very small, or almost crying, like like little pets, and then you give them all the power, and they become like monsters, and they can become quite strong.
Yeah.
And that's when you get in a full demonic, like exorcist type possession. When you truly give them all the power, when you actually love them in a way, when you admire them, when you feel they're gonna solve your problems. And I believe that I'm going through the episodes for the YouTube channel that I'm kind of starting, and have to go through the older episodes. And I remember the Uvalde shooting one. Well, yes, I believe this kid, 18 years old, unfortunately gave all the power to a demon, and the demon came back and said, "I want you to shoot some kids." Okay, that's what I believe. Some people say it's all BS and whatever. I mean, I'm not saying
I'm not sure.
I'm not saying I'm right. Okay, I'm just saying it makes a lot of sense to me that when you go so bad, for example, you die Hussein. He had to be demonized. Okay, I mean that's not a human being. Okay, he had to be demonized, and maybe from a small age, with everything he was around to, with all the violence, with all probably seeing his father killing other people, killing family members, and that's deep stuff. You get demonized. Okay, some people say when you're abused as a child, then maybe you can replicate that, and because the demon is inside you or something like that. It makes a little sense. Okay, I do believe all along the way you have controls. I wanted to say something kind of on the same subject, Tony, but I also believe that sometimes when we make these ideas, we're also kind of paranoid, like we were with this neighbor, okay? We were paranoid, okay? At that time, 2008 to 2012, it's not that in 2012 everything got better, but it started becoming better, and right now it's much better, okay? But on that stage, driving back from the office or to the office, I will always check my rearview mirror, and sometimes I will stop. Yes, stuff like that, okay? Sometimes I will stop because you'll see the same car 2 cars away, and dodgy looking people and that. I did move office. I was in an open space office like I'm right now. So I came back in a way to that because it's much cheaper and much better for me. But I did go to kind of a mall which had closed entrances and that. Because one day I just saw a brand new minivan with 4 people that didn't look in the right place. They had radios. They didn't look at 11 a.m. What are you doing? Brand new minivan? No, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And that unfortunately was, they tried to take away a doctor that had an office there at the same open plaza I was in. She fortunately was able to, I think she had long nails, so she scratched the face of the guy that was holding her. She was able to get away. That was my decision, this too much. And I didn't care about the increasing price in rent, so I went and looked on a close, safe space. Of course, when I get there, I pay for the first month and everything. One of the security officers, there was some private security, he told me, "Oh, do you know about the doctor they took away last month?" And I was like, "Oh, my God, I'm moving because of this, so now you tell me these stories." But we were much better. It was that's the thing I'm telling you. When you start getting paranoid, that's the word I want to use. When you start getting paranoid, maybe you see things are not there. Now, it was justified because it was happening, okay? But I do think sometimes you get paranoid for no reason, okay? So, for example, right now, I remember I was deleted twice on BitChute. I've shared this, okay? I was deleted twice on BitChute. Yeah, whatever. I was shadowed. That was very clear, okay? Last year. I'm not going to say platforms, maybe, because maybe I'm just going to get in trouble with no reason. But I was just messed with in a way. Okay. Yes, of course you go paranoid and start saying, wow, maybe it's... No, I just felt maybe a few shows kind of hit. I think it is all through AI and stuff like that. They hit some metrics or something and say, okay, this is not that. Or maybe I'm not a good citizen of the platform. Okay, it's just that no, we like the fear, we like the hate, we like that, we like the whatever. I'm not gonna say. Remember, we have some ground rules. Okay, that whatever happened. The obvious ones. Yes, you are not a good fit. Let's call it that. So we don't like you, and you're not gonna get any views and that. So that was last year, by the way. Now we're okay, and I think I've done some changes that helped that. Okay,
right.
But again, that's what I say. I'm not saying I'm smart, but be smarter. Okay, make things work for you. Don't necessarily go against them with no reason. Just like like a crazy thing. Okay, I mean, I have to be honest. if for some reason I was over the target in some way, I mean, I have dependents, I have a family, I have a business, I have a life. What, I'm gonna throw that away? I'm not gonna feed my children because I believe in something? No, and first of all, my true belief, the most important thing I share is the power within. Is that you have to search that you have to leave the out there and go inner, go inside you. Okay, it doesn't matter the situation. Everything is about the power you have, discovering the inner peace, discovering the inner power, discovering that that's the way out. You becoming a better person, you listening, becoming the best version of you. That's how you help the world. Not about calling out this and that and Alex Jones and no, I don't believe that. And in a way, I've never believed that through the channel. I've changed a little bit. I've changed, yes. I've stopped talking about religions. I changed a little bit, but I think it has been a consistent message. This is the power within. Okay, this is about the power within. So, sorry, Tony, goes back to you.
Sure. Oh, well, that's good. Good stuff. I mean, the power within, I'll take it from there. That, I would call it consciousness or awareness, I would call it even. And it's like, that's our currency. To me, personally, that's my currency. So if I'm tired, I feel less conscious and I maybe fall asleep. I think, right, my body's tired, time to go to sleep. But the real me beneath the body is always awake. It's always aware. So it's monitoring my heartbeat. It's monitoring my breathing. It's monitoring the dreams. It's monitoring where I'm too hot or too cold. So if I'm too hot, I might move off a cover. So this, I believe, is the real person, the awareness, the infinite space. And we are drops of divine. The body and mind is a drop of the divine, that's my currency. So when I'm awake and I'm living my life, if I want to put my awareness into stamp collecting and look at all the different shapes, the colours of stamps and different sets of bird stamps, train stamps, car stamps, and I spend all my days doing that. Okay, great. You know a lot about stamps, but you're not, you're trapped, you're captured in one little ghetto of life and your other life is neglected. So I can see where I put my currency, it absorbs me. It's like it becomes me. It takes me over and I become a stamp addict or, car addict, whatever. And I don't know anything else. And anyone, I see a car or a train, I'm watching it. So I neglect all the rest of the world. But that's my life. That's my world now. The same as if you look at, Alex Jones, Shields or not. If you look long enough at Alex Jones and all the rest of them and keep looking and you put your currency into them 24 hours a day, almost, you will find things to confirm your paranoia or your, rumor, gossip. It will be confirmed the more you look at it and you will come to the wrong conclusions. So be careful what you put your attention in, your awareness in, because it becomes your world. And it's easy done. You make one small misunderstanding or misassociation and you build on it. It becomes like the Forbidden Planet. It builds into a monster and it takes you over because it's out of perspective and it's wrong. So I would say to people, use your awareness like you would use gold. Don't just give it out to anything and anyone. That is that's the truest precious gift you have, your awareness. So look after it. That's my point, mate. That's what I believe.
That's beautiful, Tony. That's beautiful. I agree 100%. And you also mentioned something, stamp collecting, and that those are good passions. My dad is a stamp collector. I'm a coin collector, so it'll be a bit different.
Yeah.
Both very interesting things because they show you the world. Right? You see coins from all over. I collect coins and bills.
That's it.
So my father is a stamps, and he probably has a very nice stamp collection. I don't know if valuable or not, but very interesting all over the world.
Yeah.
And I see these things as neutral. I see it as passions. We spoke about sports.
Yeah.
I believe that was off recording recently. That I share with you that some people see sports as something bad. Okay, like it's a rig, for example. The outcome is already known, and some people, gain with all the betting and all that. Yeah, I'm sure there are things like that. But it's entertaining to me. And since I was 10 years old, it happened that we were in Italy, by the way. We were living that year in Italy. We went back when I was 10. I shared it was because of the Spain 82 World Cup that you like. Italy won that one.
Oh, cool.
And we were in Italy in vacation, and the emotion of going through the streets, the celebration with the family and that, my parents said, we want to come back. We want to come back to live in Italy, okay? So we have a good life in Mexico. So my parents make it work, and we moved the next year, 1983, when I was 10, to Italy. So the Super Bowl of 1983, which was played January 84, the Raiders, at that time, the Los Angeles Raiders, they can move around. So they showed it in Italy. I'm a child, and I fell in love with the Raiders, okay? Particularly a player, Marcus Allen, he had a great game. So it has been a passion that with me. I mean, in the most, not, I don't love it as my children. I don't love it as my creator. I don't love it like that, okay? As a friend, for example, with the love I have for you. No, it's not like that. But I love in this meaningless, neutral way. I love the Raiders, okay? I've been to many games. Felt the passion. I've done what is called tailgating, which is before the game. You get with people, do a barbecue. So the stadium, you probably have seen those. I one time put my money in as far as, trying to contact the team and sport and stuff like that. It's a passion of mine. It's a passion of mine. Yes, I told. There's no saying anything better about that. I kind of walk away from saying that, but you know what I'm talking about. So I have a passion, but it's neutral. But if someone says, "Oh, sports are bad," you shouldn't be looking at sports, and I don't agree. If you believe they're bad, don't watch them. Okay, don't have any passion. Maybe some people say, no, we should all be reading books. Yes, it's not. I cannot find anything negative about reading, but we cannot impose. We're all equally deserving, beautiful, important. Okay, that's said. But we're all differentially, we have different passions. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm about to sneeze. I apologize for that. I'm okay. Yes. So I do believe that's an example, Tony, of how can I say it? Of not trying to put your weight. I mean, if you feel passion about calling others out and that, when you feel that passion, it's just don't expect validation. Okay, don't expect validation. I just can give you my feeling, my opinion. That for me, it doesn't cross my mind. I will invest 30, 10, 5, 3 minutes of my time to say. So I went to the channel and it's garbage. And maybe I have that opinion, but I keep it to myself. Okay? I keep it to myself because I'm sure most of these creators are trying their best. Okay, and I'm sure most of these creators believe they're sharing valuable information with you. Okay, I'm sure. I don't agree with their style. I don't agree with the information. It's not my cup of tea. Who am I to say something negative? Don't watch. And many videos I started watching, 20 seconds, 40 seconds, say, this is not my cup of tea. And you have the stop button. And if you're subscribed, you have the unsubscribe button. And I'm desperate for content. But the good part, Tony, is I'm also very busy. So you know what I'm busy with. And the channel keeps me very busy. So I don't have any content. I privately have pushed you that I feel you have so many things to share, Tony, that a channel of Tony would be great with 1 episode a week or something like that. Yeah, like 10 minutes ramblings, or I will certainly watch it. And but there's no one channel, because there was Wake in the Future, but the guys have moved on in a way. I'm sorry to say it. The guys have moved on, and
seems to.
1 episode every month is not going to make it. So they were my main thing of watching. So. Yes, of course there are others, Moxie and that, but that my cup of tea, which is these organic discussions, was Wake in the Future. Okay, so
me too.
The guys have other things, and I could in a year be them. Okay, I could in a year be, Tony, I'm gonna move on and closing the channel. The only thing different is if I ever do that, guys, everyone watching, I'm probably gonna close the channel. Why? Because I believe I will do a disservice to the ones latching on with no new videos, expecting a video like. Or maybe a final video saying, don't expect new videos. This is just a history. This is just whatever it is, and there's no new videos. Okay. It's just me, my symmetric. I'm very symmetric in those things. That's why I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I believe in schedules. I believe in, even this is a free channel. I'm not expecting anything back, please. No donations.
Structured.
I'm very
Very
structured.
disciplined.
I want to be disciplined with my audience, that they're expecting a video, they're getting a video, okay? They are not expecting a video, they're not expecting a video. So for me, it's like a responsibility. I see it like that.
Sure,
okay?
sure. That's it.
Yes,
But yeah. No, I was just saying, yes, I agree. It's good to put that out there and let people know where they stand if there are no more videos coming or what your plans are. But yeah, it's kind of there aren't that many channels out there that I like. Waking the Future was mine and your channel, a few others, but there isn't a lot there. And what I see with a lot of people in general, not just online, not just with the BitChute, but in life itself, in general, everywhere, they follow other people. My granddad said it when I was a little kid. He said, why people are mimic? That's what he said, he's Jamaican. And I didn't know what the word meant. And I had a little blue dictionary, so I looked it up. I was going for mimic. It was only a basic Collins dictionary, a little small one. And it said mimic, verb to ape, A-P-E. Ape, that's a monkey. What's that mean? Ape, to imitate. Oh, so I understood what my granddad said. And from that young age, I looked at people, and I didn't consciously do it, but it was in the back of my mind. People, oh yeah, you're copying him, and you're copying her, and that group are copying the leader. And it confirmed in me, people are mimics. They're mimics, but they don't realise it. That's why I said earlier, you be careful what you spend your currency on. If you've got currency as awareness, and you're just copying the next person and the next, whatever you see next, you're not living your life, you're living their life. You're part of the herd. You're not thinking for yourself. You're living for whatever's going by, whatever bandwagon or trend, and you're just jumping on it without any thinking. So, it's just how people are in life in general. They're mimics. And if they can recognize it in themselves, maybe that's an opening to get out of it, a recognition that, I do mimic people. I didn't notice it. I didn't realize. And that can get them free, just noticing that they're a mimic. Because I did it. And I thought, I'm copying my mate. My mate got a new jacket or pair of trainers, and I went and got the same ones. I'm a mimic. And I started to think about it. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing this? And question myself. And that was when I realized I'm not like you lot. I don't want to follow you. I like what he's doing. That's good. That's excellent. Yeah, I like that. I'll copy that. I might nick a bit of that. Or I might nick a bit of that, but not that bit. I don't want that bit. So I'll pick and choose and not mimic what's negative. Because all we seem to see in the world is negative. And that's the example of set us. Mimic negative. So, think for yourself is my idea, mate. And it's really the only way to go. Because what's the point of following someone else? It's been done. You're not original. You're not intelligent. You're following someone that's doing something already. It's done. It's been unoriginal. So that's my view, mate. Think for yourself and don't mimic.
Great word that your grandfather used, mimic. I see it, yes, imitate, but I see it more like carbon copy. Remember carbon copy? So when you're trying to be like someone, you're always going to be a bad copy anyway. I don't encourage mimicking, I actually encourage finding you. And I think mimicking goes on exactly because we don't look at ourselves. We're out there looking for the solution. So, maybe this, maybe that, maybe an actor. There's some people that might, maybe this sport. That is wrong with sports. Saying I want to be like Cristiano Ronaldo. No, you be you, okay?
Yes.
You be you, okay? And that you have the power in you, and you don't need to mimic anyone. I actually had the opposite problem, mate. I always had this feeling that I don't want to follow. I don't want to be like that. And I was very outspoken as young. And my friends knew me and that, but it got me in trouble a couple of times, okay? Yeah. So I always share, I'm a work in progress. Even at my 50 years, I'm a work in progress, okay?
Yeah, and I never stop learning.
I intend to keep learning and changing myself and trying to find this best version of me, which I haven't gotten there yet, let's clarify. Yeah. I'm very long away from that. That's why I keep changing a little bit. So you're going to, if you follow that channel for a while, you're going to say, oh, now Alex has a different opinion. Yeah, kind of a change of opinion. For example, with death, I changed my tune on that.
Yeah,
right now, I'm open that death is something that could get us between things. And maybe it's good that I'm sharing that because maybe something to look at. You decide. You're listening. You decide if there's something you need to prepare for, something like that. Okay, but that's just an example of things that I'm tweaking. And when I was younger, yes, and right now I'm what you could say more diplomatic or that. I just keep my mouth shut, and I really don't care anyway, Tony, to make a point of the system. For example, in a private WhatsApp group of family in Italy, they were discussing recently Meloni. Meloni is the prime minister. She's very controversial.
Oh, yeah.
She's far right, and that. I didn't say a thing. I didn't say a thing, honestly. And yes, I do have an opinion, but I was just, some were gonna applaud me, and so I was gonna piss off some, and some were gonna applaud me. What's the point of that?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the point of that? Okay.
What is the point?
Even if I clarify this is my opinion. I don't think this is no. So So in a way, that's why there's no good way to talk about religion. Everyone is always gonna take it the wrong way. So I kind of took it off the board, and I started talking about aviation, and I started talking about IT, and I started talking about video games, because the point here is I want to mix it up. I want to keep you interested, because if we talk about the self-empowerment, about love, about our eternal life all the time, I'm gonna bore you. Okay, I'm gonna bore you.
Yeah.
So that's why we also with you, I love these subjects, because we leave a message to them. We do leave a suggestion. Okay, don't be like that. In this case, the message of the show is don't make stories in your mind, okay? Because you don't have the facts. You don't have the facts. And most of the time, these stories, you're doing an agenda, okay? They're feeding you. In this case, in the neighborhood story, I mean, we were so upset with criminals. We were like, we almost wanted this person to be a criminal. So we could have like someone to hate right there, okay? And say things and that, okay? Then this person becomes a normal guy like us trying to make a living, finding opportunity in commercializing these these premium cars. And we're like, oops. So where's the enemy? We need the enemy. We need the enemy. No, you don't need an enemy. You don't need an
also,
enemy.
Alex, sorry. Also, on your point there, you've got a misunderstanding about a person, and you built up this big story about them, and then when you find that they're not who you thought they were, it makes you wrong. So you have to keep making it real by convincing others that you're not wrong, by more lies. And it's like a never-ending cycle of rubbish. You're trying to build up a tower of rubbish so that you're not wrong.
Well, in this
case,
no, go ahead.
That's ego, exactly what ego is. You made a mistake, and now you're too far gone to admit it, so you're doubling down. Excellent. You can't admit you're wrong, you just double down. Yeah, psychology, that, mate.
In this case, it was too obvious that yes, I believe a couple said, no, I still believe he's fishy. And most of us says, actually, I ended up knowing the person afterwards, a few months after. He was a normal guy. He said, it's just, I'm renting and I'm building a house somewhere else. So it's just, I'm sorry. And I'm very busy all day. So I'm not into doing a lot of friends. So that's why I didn't reach out. Okay. But then you met the guy and he was a normal person. And months ago, you were thinking this guy was a criminal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't make mistakes, mate. What you just said is very important, because it's a different element of the mind, which is saying, hey, mind, you know what? We made a mistake. Okay? And the mind is no way, because in the mind, that's the egoic mind, okay? And accepting your mistakes. That's why I want to give a suggestion, Tony. Just always be open to being wrong, because you're like already preparing for that. So you say something, you work on something, and then you realize you're wrong. Hey, I was always open to that, okay? And in a similar way, never be concerned about being right, because that interrupts you, that limits you, that upsets you, that you feel so free when you're saying, this is what I feel, okay?
Yeah.
And then you realize you have no business, you are no one to be making up stories about other people, because that's upsetting. That's upsetting. And especially if you are going to do that, keep them to yourself. Don't go out and vent to others your concoctions, your conspiracy theories about an individual. Okay, we're talking about an individual. Not even go ahead.
Sorry, I say if it's important, if it's a life and death matter, and you have proof. If it's just gossip, keep it to yourself. But if you have 100% proof, and you can save lives with it, I would say put it out there. You know,
I agree.
But unless you have proof, don't say anything. You're right.
I agree. That's different. Maybe you are helping out. Yes, that's different. Okay, but if it's oh, because I see that this person said, and you start doing 2 + 2 = 4. That's your mind. That's your egoic mind. Okay.
Yeah.
That's your egoic mind. That's why I say science. Okay, I'm not gonna say it because what is whatever. Remember, we're kind of skipping subjects. Yes, but it's the same arrogance of, I'm sure the earth is flat. I'm sorry, viewer. I told him privately. I mean, sorry, because I think that's arrogance to say, I don't know what the universe is, Tony. I feel it, and I've seen it.
Sure.
I've seen it in my dreams. I've seen it in my travels.
Yeah.
But still, it could be a concoction of my mind. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I clarify. You're only getting my feelings. You're only getting my intuitions. They don't make sense to you. There's a reason for that. They make sense to you. There's a reason for that. So there are like three possibilities, Tony. Negative energy, which is separation energy. Neutral energy, which is not bad. Sports, a movie, that movie that you mentioned, going for drinks with friends. That's neutral. I mean, and then there's positive resonation, attraction, something that moves you. Okay. And for example, you say something, Tony, sometimes, and I feel that, and that's why also sometimes, I'm sorry, I interrupt you, because it's the eager of Tony. Where? Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's how we are.
That's the thing. So of the three choices, my suggestion to you watching is pick neutral and pick positive. And if something separates you, move away. So if this channel, I'm doing separation energy to you, and that makes me an energy vampire to you, that makes it something bad to you, move away. I cannot move from you. I don't know who you are. I cannot go and hit the unsubscribe button for you. But you can do that. You have that power. So hit that, forget about me. I'm a crazy guy. I'm certainly not your cup of tea, and go on your way. And whatever happens to you, whatever trauma, okay? Because there's this big word, trauma. Trauma is the effects of karma, okay? You do karma, again, remember, karma is never positive. Karma, whatever you do, you're supposed to do. If you love the universe, you're supposed to love the universe. You don't get karma points for that. Karma is only your incorrect deeds, your misdeeds, okay? And the effect of karma, lessons, yes, exactly. And karma, the effects of karma is trauma. Trauma is the karma on other people. And the only thing you can do is send your love and light to everyone that does misdeeds, and forgive and forget. Okay?
A candle in the dark.
And doing that, the separation energy from the trauma becomes neutral. Not good, not bad. Very difficult. It will take Jesus Christ or Mahatma Gandhi or Buddha or someone so enlightened, so mature, for them to take negative and move it to positive. That doesn't compute with me at this moment. That is possible. No. But I'm sure these enlightened beings, Rumi, the Persian poet, someone like that, probably they were so enlightened, they were probably so their best version for several existences. That they have the ability to transmute negative to positive. Don't try that. That's my suggestion. It's impossible. That will be actually, we'll come back and just to finish with this, Tony. Hey, I was defrauded. I'm sorry. Yes, I used that story many times, but it's the most recent trauma I've suffered. Okay, that defraud. Okay? I moved that from negative to neutral. That's this person. I don't know if he's alive or dead. I'm not saying I don't care, but I don't follow him. If someone does trauma to you, and then you want to be friends, there's something else going on there. You are not transmuting negative to positive. Okay, there's something else going there. That's not. It's like your trauma was to feed again, or something very weird that I'm not able to explain it. Okay, my suggestion is it's something very weird. So sometimes people say, for example, there was someone. Do you know the Stockholm effect, Tony? Have you heard of that?
Stockholm effect.
The Stockholm, the city.
Oh, Stockholm, yes,
Effect. Okay, that happened on a hostage situation in Stockholm, Sweden. On a bank. Okay, on a bank. Some say it was an airplane. I don't know. It's strange. Maybe there were two different stories. Some is an airplane there in Sweden, and some the bank. Maybe the bank is the movie. I'm sorry, I'm confusing it. Okay, but it's a hostage situation that the hostages, they're so traumatized by the hostage takers that then they defend them or love them, something like that.
That's it. They become friends with the hostage takers.
Yes, that's very weird, and that's like people that enjoy cutting themselves. Have you? What's the name of that? That mutilating yourself or something like that. People that put themselves in situations
self-harm
to suffer. Okay. So you actually put yourself in situations so you can suffer trauma because you enjoy it in a way. Very difficult situation. So if someone creates you trauma and you want to keep a relationship with that person, I'm sorry, I think there's something there, okay? Something else there, okay?
This is a big topic, actually. Do you mind if I speak on that?
Yeah, sure, you go ahead.
Yeah. What I see in that is when you said about Stockholm Syndrome, and sometimes people that are traumatized want to be friends with the traumatee person that's traumatized. It's like, I see it's self-harming, people that self-harm, and anorexia as well.
Yes.
Things like that. They're harmful to the person, but they're obsessively doing it. They can't seem to help themselves doing it. But it's like a grasp for control. I've been I've known some people in the past who've got certain issues that they've self-harmed, all sorts of different things. Even alcohol. I used to self-medicate because of the world. I couldn't take the world. I hated it. So I drank to kind of get some control back of my life. But that control wasn't real control. It was being drunk. So it was just an escapism.
And it was getting you worse.
It was making me worse.
It was not a solution. Okay.
So it's like, what I see is the psychology behind it is people hate this world so much and they see wrongdoing and evil all around, but they want to control it, but they can't. So the next best thing is to control the substance, which they can never do. Control their pain, which they can never do. Control their food, which they can never do. Control their alcohol, couldn't do it. And it's running away from life. They're not engaging with life in a healthy way. So they tend to try to control something else as a distraction. So, at least I'm controlling this. At least I'm controlling that. And they feel that it's like a refuge of control because they can't control the world. And it's unhealthy. And I think where it comes from is the system. It's like, for example, somebody's coming to me about quiz shows. On the TV, you get quiz shows. And I used to love them because when I got an answer right, I'd go, yeah, I knew that. Or if I got an answer wrong, I'd look around and see if anyone heard me get it wrong. And go, oh, no one heard me, I was wrong. Oh, that's fine. You know, it's like we're programmed to be, oh, you're good if you're right, but you're an idiot if you're wrong. It's programmed into us with quiz shows, game shows, school, work, you get punished if you mess up a job. And so everything we're taught, if you're right, you're great. You're the emperor. If you're wrong, you're an idiot. You're the dirt on my shoes. So everyone is scared of being wrong. And it's that psychology where they can't control the world. So I've messed up. I can't be right. I'm going to take drugs. I'm going to harm myself. I'm going to do this. And if you can see what I'm trying to say, it's an attempt at control. So they run away from the world to control what they can. And even people that attack other people online, that's their version of, well, look, I'm going to prove to myself I'm right here. At least I can be right here. And then when that backfires, they can't handle it. So they just want to be right. They just want to be right for once. I'm rambling here, mate. But
no, you are. And the thing, we're already gone over an hour. And we could do another hour easily on this subject of being right or wrong. But then, unfortunately, Tony, if it goes so long, then a few people are going to watch the show. Only the real lady, and there's going to be a few. So
they'll stick to the schedule.
Yeah, so let's stick to an hour, which is, we usually get good viewership on that.
Yeah.
I just I do want to say something, okay, if you don't mind. That
of course.
My way that is working for me is I'm not concerned with being right on anything. Okay?
That's it.
And I'm open to being wrong on everything.
Yeah.
So that might seem like a very open shot, very simple, convenient. Like, oh, Alex, like that, you're not going to suffer. Exactly. It works for me.
Yeah.
Because I open the whole envelope. I totally destroy the narrative because they go all the way 100 degrees. And they say, no, you must never be wrong on anything. And you will must always be right on everything. That's how they say. You must make sure to, no.
It's not realistic, is it?
I don't mind. And the problem is usually the mind, when you're wrong, when you're proven wrong, and I know because science facts, Tony, arithmetical facts, and I did mention in the episode The Truth that there are several ways to solve complex mathematical problems, okay?
Yeah.
mainstream information. I'm not making that up. Okay, several ways. Some problems are solved through development of algorithms and that. So there are different ways to go about the problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are very complex differential equations in play and that. So in a way, there's not that one truth there thing. It doesn't work. Okay.
Sure.
Someone comes up with a difference. So what happens in science, the way it puts it, is the evolution of that. So they say in the 1800s, someone said this was like that, but then in the 1900s, someone improved it, and this is the new truth. Wait,
That's it.
what work? No, because the other one, no, it's just a different way. Okay, so because they have to maintain the concept that there is one truth, they work like that, and they implant that on the minds, and yes, that's through the education system, but also most people believe that. I want to say something in ending, Tony, if you don't mind. I do believe everything that is coming in this world, I do believe there's light in this world, and I do believe there's change in this world. Everything is coming through the intuition, okay? Nothing is coming through the out there.
100%.
People are not listening to the out there anymore, okay? No, it's not this concept we wake people up. You wake yourself, that's it.
Yeah.
By listening to your intuition, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Truth.
If you want to believe that you are out there to reveal critical information and that's going to change humanity, you go right ahead, okay?
Yeah, great choice.
But my feelings, my intuition is whatever is happening is because people are saying, this doesn't, I feel something different. Okay?
Yes.
You and I kind of have felt this all our lives. I do believe that.
Oh, I have, yeah, definitely.
Yes, we have. And I do believe a lot of people watching have. And it's not something new. But a lot of people are having these aha moments, Tony, that I share one case with you of a viewer of Waking the Future, and suddenly I see him in another channel, he's a different person, almost like a hijack account. So, and I notice talking to people how this intuition, and I'm not going to say what happened in the last few years, okay? We already agreed that. But of the things we suffered in the last few years, that people are saying, I get it. But I didn't see it. I didn't see it on the news. I didn't see it with Alex there on the platforms. I'm not waking up anyone. Okay, guys, you're getting my feelings. What you could possibly get here with Tony and I is that resonation, this attraction energy that pulls you into intuition. It's like something lights up and you say, I go inside and I find the answer. That's the only thing. We don't give you the answer. Never. Never. And my suggestion is whoever is telling you that they're giving you answers, definite, that they're waking you up, take it with a grain of salt, and it's a red flag. It's a red flag. Tony, we have really gone long on this one, so you want to say something in closing, please?
Sure. Yeah, it's been a long chat. It's been good, though. I would say people are held hostage by their beliefs. I use a term, I don't know where it came to me. I didn't even hear it anywhere. Narratives are mazes for the mind. So storylines, beliefs, narratives, they're all mazes that you go round in your head, like they trap you upstairs. So our beliefs hold us prisoner. And if you can be open-minded enough to say, well, hang on, maybe I'm a little bit wrong. Maybe I shouldn't believe every single thing this belief is telling me. Leave some breathing room, leave a little gap. Some, for you to get your foot in the door to get out. Because the mind is keeping you a prisoner. It's holding you hostage with the beliefs in that maze up there. And it doesn't like to be wrong. So to me, the mind is like a little brat. My mind, I'll speak for myself. My mind is like a little brat that wants it all its own way. And it's keeping me prisoner because I won't, because I'm believing everything it's telling me. And it likes to control me with the beliefs that it has up there. And it's controlling me like they say, the monkey on your back. So I would say to everyone, question everything. Be open-minded and don't be scared of being wrong. And follow your intuition. Yeah.
Which is always right.
Be awake. Yeah.
Your intuition is always right for you. Always.
Yeah.
Always. I'm not sure the ones that say, oh, I want to, whatever I want to do and go against everyone and fight. I'm not sure you're listening to your intuition. I'm pretty sure you're listening to the monkey. Okay.
I would say. Yeah.
The monkey that is pulling your ears like that. Like, oh, okay, got that. And then you leave me alone. You don't control me. I control you. What Joe says through meditation. I believe in clearing the mind. Tony, I don't even meditate anymore. I want to clarify. Because I just found a way through the day, I control my mind. Whenever it starts going, I control my mind. So Joel mentioned he does meditation to control the thoughts, to understand the thoughts. Great. Some others do meditation to clear the mind. Great. It's like giving it a break. Great.
Yes.
The one that is working for me is I'm on my mind. Okay. I'm always listening and saying, hey, you are not gonna get your way anymore. Okay, that's the past. That's the past.
You onto
okay?
it.
Yes, I'm onto it. And if you're starting going, because every day is a struggle. I want to clarify. I don't think I'm ever gonna get it on this reality. Okay, on this existence, Alex, this persona, this thing I am, and it's gonna go on for whatever days, seconds, whatever. I'm never gonna get it. The mind is there. I don't think it's fixable. Okay, maybe it's supposed to be that way. Maybe the egoic mind is poison beyond, because again, you want to take 50 years out in 1 second, it doesn't work. Okay. So maybe it's going to take me 50 years to fix it, and I'm not going to be here anyway. So I made my peace that I control it, and I say, hey, we're not the boss. And it kind of goes back. Okay. And sometimes it really goes, especially under pressure and stuff like that. So Tony, I thank you for the viewers. This went a little bit on the long side. I could probably do 2 shows, but just never a good way to stop. We don't do them that way to have part 1, part 2. Kind of gotten away from that. It's probably going to be more like an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. So I thank you if you stayed for the whole show. It was a great show, as always, with Tony. So Tony, I thank you. You honor me as always. You're a key part of the channel. And this was not to offend anyone. If anyone has taken offense, not for you. This was a generic video of the ideas I have and that you share with me, Tony. Thanks. Have a great day, everyone. Please stay for the last 3 minutes of the show. Thank you. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time, through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website, www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.